Good evening, I'm John Carter. Welcome to Poland Daily. The opposition is considering forming a mutual front before next year's Polish Parliament and European Parliament elections. The opposition is tempted to put forward a unified stance to improve their chances of victory over the ruling Law and Justice Party. The question is whether an actual unification could become a reality or not.
If the political parties take part in the election separately, then the Law and Justice Party would get 38% of the vote. But if the united opposition take part in the election together, then the Jarosław Kaczyński's party will lose. According to an opinion poll by Pollster, 50% of the vote would get to the hypothetical alliance between the Civic Coalition, the Polish People's Party, the Modern Party, the Together Party, and the Now Party. The ruling conservative Law and Justice Party would get 38% of votes. The right-wing populist Cookies 15 movement would get 8%. The Civic Platform Party politicians repeat that the priority is to remove the Law and Justice Party away from power.
I think that everyone who wants to take the Law and Justice Party's destructive term of office should enter into coalition, which would be, of course, near the Civic Platform Party.
The optional coalition with the Modern Party status is not known. The reason is the party's internal division. Strong signal called the Civic Coalition Club is needed. Thousands of people screamed our name in the public demonstrations defending the Constitution. Now it's time to sit down, negotiate, and straighten our Civic Coalition Club partnership conditions. Today's opinion poll has not impressed the Law and Justice Party politicians.
We still have a lot of time till the end of our term of office. We have many projects going on, and even the United Coalition won't take us down.
Commentators doubt that the opposition will succeed in building the mutual front.
We shouldn't disregard the opinion poll. The ruling party should take that under consideration. I doubt that this opposition coalition will work, but it would be a huge Civic Platform's party's interest, but with also a huge loss for everyone. I doubt that the opposition will unite. These are only divisions of the Super Express Weekly to cheer them up.
The Polish parliamentary election will take place in October or November next year.
Members of the Polish parliamentary group dealing with World War II reparations from Germany met today at the headquarters of the New Records Archives. The matter is still waiting to be settled as both Berlin and Warsaw continue to prepare their cases.
During the off-site meeting of the parliamentary team for the assessment of the compensation amount due to Poland from Germany for the damage caused during World War II, archival materials of the New Records Archives documenting the losses caused by the Germans in Poland in 1939-1945 were discussed. The catalogue that will be published this week of the New Records Archives website contains an alphabetical list of localities that are compiled in this catalogue based on the report of the Polish exile government envoys to Poland, created during the Second World War by the structures of the underground state, with information about German crimes during virtually the entire period of occupation. It seems to me that the most valuable of these materials refer to very small towns and villages that sometimes were not the object of interest of historians, because remember that German terror is not only the destruction of Warsaw or those major Polish cities, but also terror aimed at these ordinary Poles living in small towns and villages. It must be remembered that the German side has the same materials, because they were not published in one copy, and we have to take them into account, and the Polish researchers are hindered by the statistics statute that statistical materials are classified, and the average researcher who wants to deal with these printed German materials has no access to this. It is absurd, and it is necessary to abolish this in a legislative form as soon as possible, so that we can also research this material. Now, the access is only by special permission. According to Arkadiusz Mularczyk, the chairman of the parliamentary team dealing with reparations, the aftermath of World War II is still affecting life in Poland today. The effects of the Second World War are still felt by Polish society, because we have worse road infrastructure, weaker economy, we have been developing at a slower rate for many years, because we had to rebuild after the wartime damage, but also the demographic process was stopped. Today the population of Poland would be much greater if not for the loss of almost 12 million citizens in the Second World War. According to MP Mularczyk, the issue of reparations requires permanent regulation in Polish-German relations. Until recently, the Germans believed, or still believe, part of the German elite believes that this is only an internal discussion in Poland, and this is not the case. The proof is in my last visit to the Bundestag, where I spoke before the Foreign Affairs Committee, presenting the factual problem that until today Poland has not received reparations from Germany. Also, Polish citizens themselves have the court path closed in private compensation cases. Representative Arkadiusz Mularczyk, when asked for estimates of the amount of German war reparations for Poland, said that after taking inflation into consideration, one can talk about an amount of $850 billion. The take of German authorities is that this case is closed in the light of international law and currently have no obligations to Poland for war reparations.
Poland celebrates the day of St. Barbara, patron of miners, otherwise known as Baborka Day. The 4th of December is a holiday for more than 80,000 Polish miners. During one of Baborka celebrations in the city of Brzeszcz, the President of Poland, Andrzej Duda, promised that he will not allow for the Polish mining industry to be, quote, murdered.
It's essential that we change the mining industry in a way that we could realize the balanced energy development whilst also improve our economy. This is why during the speech I gave yesterday at the COP24 summit, I stressed that the Polish economy is mainly based on coal and this will not change. Of course, we will realize the energy mix strategy. Even the more cautious experts said yesterday that Poland has at least 35 to 40 years until the coal that is easier to mine runs out. 200 years until it all runs out. It's our great treasure. We have the biggest coal deposits in Europe. You can rest assured that until I'm serving as the President of Poland, I will not allow for anyone to murder the Polish mining industry.
The Central European University, a graduate school in Budapest, Hungary, founded by the American-Hungarian billionaire George Soros, admitted defeat yesterday and announced that they will be moving to Vienna, Austria. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban has been trying to safeguard Hungary for years from Soros-controlled organisations. The university is one of Europe's richest, as Soros has provided it with over $800 million in endowments.
The Soros-funded university, CEU, is considered to be a bastion of liberalism in an increasingly conservative Hungary. It was the first institution in Central Eastern Europe to offer a master's program in gender studies, an alleged scientific field which now faces strong opposition from the Hungarian government. Following the introduction of new legislation, which was widely perceived as targeting CEU, the university stated it would leave Budapest if it didn't get guarantees of academic freedom by December 1st. As Orban didn't budge, the rector announced that the CEU will have to move.
This government has forced a U.S. institution that awards U.S. accredited degrees out of Hungary. And so we have no choice. We have to offer those degrees in Vienna.
The rector was also disappointed in the fact that not enough external pressure had been put on Hungary to save the university.
No leverage has been exerted on the government of Hungary from the outside. And that's where I am. And that's why we have to move this institution, the U.S. accredited degrees, to a location where there is the rule of law, there is judicial review, and where we have some confidence that we can operate with stability.
Viktor Orban won a straight third term as prime minister after focusing his election campaign on resisting George Soros and his pro-immigration platform. The main NGO used by Soros, the Open Society Foundation, was forced to leave Hungary earlier this year.
Thank you very much for joining me here this evening at Poland Daily. I'm John Carter. Join us after the break for Poland Daily Weather, and then stay tuned after that for Poland Daily Business.